My name is Lisa Wasnikowski. I am broker, owner, and realtor for Blue Ribbon Realty in Crown Point, Indiana, where we service all of Northwest Indiana. And I help a lot of buyers that want to downsize or want to move to the area. And behind me, sorry, I almost forgot, behind me is Miss Penny. She is my dog, and we are working from home today. So I'm in my home office, and I thought I would make a video on downsizing because a lot of people don't understand there are two components to downsizing. It is a very trendy term in the real estate world. It has been around for as long as I've been a realtor, and that's been 20 years. It's probably been around a lot longer. Downsizing typically refers to somebody moving from a larger footprint to a smaller footprint home. So if somebody was in a big home and they want to go to a smaller home or a smaller townhome, but that footprint, that size, if it was 2,500 square feet is what they're living in now, they are thinking about going to something smaller for whatever reason it may be. The other instance of downsizing is a financial aspect, and that is to reduce your housing costs. So you are in a home right now, and the utility bills, the mortgage payment, the property taxes are just eating up too much of your income, and you want to reduce those costs. So not necessarily size related to the home, but the costs are why you want to move. You want to go to something that's more financially affordable. That's it. That's downsizing in a nutshell. Now, why would people downsize? There are various reasons. The financial one is a little bit more obvious. They want to reduce their financial responsibilities, their monthly bills, but also sometimes people, most commonly, children leave the nest. They go to college or they grow up and they leave and they get their own living situations. And in that case, sometimes the home is just too big, and the people that own it, mom and dad, are like, it's time that we get something smaller because we don't need all this space. Or sometimes there's physical limitations, and maybe you're in a two-story home and something has happened, or for whatever reason, you don't want to do stairs anymore. That's also a very common case. There are other instances where you see downsizing, and some of those relate to like some of our communities with HOAs in the area where they do the lawn maintenance for you and the snow removal. Sometimes in a condo, they will take care of the exterior of the home, so you don't have to worry about that either. And sometimes as people get older, they don't want, or with work responsibilities, maybe they start working in a place where they're traveling a lot and they just don't have time to devote to doing the lawn maintenance. Those are appealing to those types of people. And if you're not spending a lot of time in your home, maybe you don't need as much home also. So there's various reasons why people downsize. It's very trendy right now, especially with interest rates where they were versus where they were 5 years ago or 4 years ago. We saw very low interest rates, and now we are higher than what we were then. We also had in the late 90s, the early 2000s, we had a boom of McMansions. And not just in Northwest Indiana, but I feel like a lot of places in the country, there were the McMansions coming up where they were massive homes. And people took advantage of getting a massive home, but now the footprint of that home, the cost of maintenance of that home, it has become more of a burden, especially with the rise of inflation and the cost of groceries, the cost of living expenses, etc. You see that, and people are like, I don't need as much space. Some of the very trendy things also we're seeing are the tiny homes. Thanks to broadcast networks like HGTV, there is a tiny home nation, and there are people that are looking for those smaller homes because they don't want a lot of space. There is actually a tiny home in Cherville. Have you seen it? There is a tiny home in Cherville. They had to go through a zoning process, and they had to do there were some steps that had to be done before they could build their tiny home. But they are available and they are out there. And actually, you can buy a tiny home on Amazon. I'll put a link to a tiny home search on Amazon where you can buy one and have it delivered. It's a matter of still finding the land for it, the utilities, and getting it all put together and arranged. But it's pretty interesting. And maybe I'll do a video on that in the future. Let me know if you are interested in downsizing because I help a lot of buyers and sellers with the downsizing process. Even if they're moving to a different location like Phoenix, Florida. Some of the places that people move to, they're all over the country. And sometimes they want to move out this way and they are moving from a bigger home to a smaller home. So there are a lot of topics that come with downsizing. And I thought this is because a good chunk of my clients are downsizing, I can help with that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to know about. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that was a little helpful, and we will talk again soon. Bye bye.